2 years ago, Congressman John Lewis spoke to an audience of young people visiting Washington. A very nervous 18-year-old asked Congressman Lewis how close we were to fulfilling his friend Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream that Dr. King described in his famous I Have a Dream speech at the March on Washington in 1963. John Lewis said in reply, Dr. Martin Luther King believed that we could build the beloved community, that we could become one people, one family, one house. We're not quite there yet. We're still on the process of fulfilling those dreams, hopes, and longings. Do what you can to help redeem our country and make our world a better place. I am convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is the young leaders who will get us there. The nervous 18-year-old who asked that question was only nervous because he was in the same room with his idol, the Honorable John Lewis. That 18-year-old of 2 years ago has done some public speaking of his own since then, and next week, at age 20, he will have the word president attached to his name. Harvard University has delivered many of its graduates to history, from presidents to Supreme Court justices, senators, scientists, artists, writers, and yes, musicians, and of course, scholars. But many fewer people have made history at Harvard, like Barack Obama, when he became the first Black president of the Harvard Law Review. And now 20-year-old Noah Harris will make Harvard history when he is sworn in as the first Black man elected by his fellow college students as president of the student body at Harvard College. And joining us now is President-elect Noah Harris. He is the author of the children's book Successville. How do you like that title, President-elect? I thought I'd try that out for you tonight.
It sounds great, and I'm honored to have it. Thank you for having me.
I just want to, I know for Harvard historians, we need to put in some footnotes here. The student body did have a Black man serve as president before, but that's when the election was voted on only by the student council itself, not by the full student body. And a Black woman was elected in 2001. Fentress Driscoll was elected president. So you're with all those footnotes, you are the first elected by the full student body, a Black man to serve as president. How much of your desire to go in this direction was inspired by listening to John Lewis that day?
I've just been inspired by Congressman Lewis just so much for a while now. And it was just so sad when he passed, because the type of influence he had and just the amazing person he was just so evident. You really saw how much of a uniter he was. Sadly, when he passed, and they called him the conscience of the Congress, and he was loved on both sides of the aisle, and he did so much for our country. He did it by having a deep empathy for all people, and that's something that I really hope to bring to this position. And I really just hope that I'm able to embody the love of country and that he had. And so that's really what I want to do in my role. And I was also able to meet him as a member of the United States Senate Youth Program in 2018. And so he really did have a profound impact on me.
You went to a big high school in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and you said when you were going through high school, you weren't even thinking about going to a place like Harvard. Was that because you hadn't seen that trip made by anyone in your high school before yourself?
I don't think so. I just kind of always thought that Harvard was for the famous kids, or the kids who are going to invent Facebook, or geniuses or something like that. You know, not that I'm not smart, but I just really felt that just wasn't something that was on my radar. I've always been really focused on academics. My parents really instilled that from a young age to like work hard in school and be ready for your future at that point. But I was really kind of focused on not necessarily the Ivy League, but some great schools though.
What would you say to other kids out there watching tonight in states like Mississippi and in big high schools like yours, where they aren't thinking about a school like Harvard? They aren't thinking about aiming in that direction. What would you say to them about thinking about your college and other colleges like it?
I would say don't be afraid to go after your dreams, to go after those goals of yours, and to really to make your mark, and just use your talents that you have to your greatest ability. That's kind of why I wrote the children's book Successville, and I wrote it to show young people that they can be anything if they're willing to work and focus on their education. And so that's kind of what my message would be to them, is to focus on school, and to realize that if you work hard, set goals, and develop talents, you can achieve those dreams of yours.